Welcome back to AI for Founders. I'm Ryan Estes. Today we're diving into the world of design, creativity, and AI with a true original, Ivan Braun, founder of Icons8. Ivan's story is wild. He started out as a UX designer making banner ads for $100 a month, then bootstrapped Icons8 into a powerhouse that now serves millions of creators with icons, illustrations, photos, 3D models, even AI-generated people. From hustling custom icon packs in 2012 to launching generated photos year before generative AI went mainstream, Ivan has been way ahead of the curve. And he's doing all this while living in Argentina, where he built a guest house for founders and digital nomads that somehow helps people learn faster and build better. We talk about bootstrapping, the evolution of stock assets, generative AI, and maybe even shark fishing on the Argentine coast. Let's jump in. But first, some business. This episode of AI for Founders is brought to you by Kitcaster, the podcast booking agency that gets founders talking. If you're building something amazing, you need to be on podcasts. Not just because podcasts are fun, though they are, but because podcasts build trust, authority, and distribution like nothing else. Apple and Spotify are already publishing transcripts for LLMs, which means that every time you guest on a podcast, you're feeding AI the news about your company. Want backlinks, brand awareness, and qualified leads all in one shot? Kitcaster makes it happen. We've booked over 15,000 interviews for more than 800 founders. You should be next. Head over to kitcaster.com and apply today because your story deserves to be heard. That's Kitcaster by Moburst. Now, you and I know startups aren't built in boardrooms. They're built in the wild, during 3 a.m. bug fixes, botched launches, and that one meeting where everything almost fell apart. That's what Code Story is all about. It's a podcast where tech founders break down the make or break moments behind their products, what went wrong, what went right, and what nearly wrecked everything. Hosted by Noah Labhart, Code Story goes past the highlight reel and into the honest stuff. Late pivots, brutal bugs, and somehow coming out alive with a product people actually love. If you're in the build stage, or the scale stage, or the please let this feature work stage, I can relate. This show will speak to your soul. Listen to Code Story at codestory.co or wherever you get your podcast. Just search Code Story. It'll be right at the top. Because great startups aren't born, they're forged, one hard moment at a time. codestory.co. All right. Welcome to the show, Ivan.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me.
It's absolute pleasure. We're really excited to have you. We got lots to cover about your really interesting business, the dips and dives it's taken through AI. So why don't you introduce us a little bit to the product and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I come from UX design. I'm a UX designer, and I used to run a UX design agency for maybe 10 years, and then we transformed it to the product. We started creating the icons and selling them in packs, and then we switched to subscription business, and then we ventured to other types of stock assets, such as illustrations, photography, and at some point we started creating AI tools. Based on our background and the data we have, we started creating AI tools, and we formed a company called Generated Photos for that.
Amazing. And Ivan, I detect an accent. Where are you from? Texas?
Argentina.
Amazing. I've never been, but it seems like an extraordinary place. Tell us about where you're from.
I live in a small town called Carrillo. I wish people know about it because it's not a top destination for foreigners in Argentina, but all the Argentinians, they know about this place. It's a forest on the ocean beach and nice designed houses, architecture, digest style. So I'm trying actually to make it a little bit more international. I've built a guest house to invite founders and nomads to live there and to work there. And they usually achieve pretty impressive results. There is something in the air that makes them learn the framework they always wanted to learn, or 3D modeling or whatever.
Nice. I love that. The forest and the ocean. I'm from Colorado and I am
We
the
all,
definition of a Colorado boy. I mean, you look up Coloradan in the dictionary, you'll see a guy with a pickup truck, a flannel shirt, a golden retriever, and that's me.
yeah,
So I love hunting and fishing and that kind of thing. What's Argentina like as far as like sportsmen? Is there good fishing? Do you got trout fishing in Argentina?
we have, yeah, and we have ocean here. So I have a ranch close here, and this is the spot for shark fishing.
Really? What species?
I don't know, but it's a small sharks, maybe couple meters. The sharks I've seen, they're a couple meters long, and you can eat them, but you can fish them and let them go.
So cool. I'm going to want to come back to that, but I want to dive into your company. Now, from the research I did, it looks like you founded Icons8 in 2012 and fully bootstrapped it. Is that correct?
Yeah, for 23 years.
Yeah, incredible. So walk us through. Now, I know that like early on, I started working on in the internet projects, designing MySpace pages, and then that got me into building websites, and I kind of came back door through the music industry. And early on, icon sets, were just like an absolute bear. And it was products like yours early on that were just like such a reprieve where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to worry about icons, custom icon sets that would take hours and hours and hours. So early on, in those early days, how did you recognize kind of there would be a market here? And then how did you bring that product to market?
You're right. It was rough. The icon packs were rough at the time. I First of all, I didn't think about working on icons precisely. I was a web designer. There was the single profession web designer. So I was prepared to do web design, branding, and any part of my work were icons. And it became apparent that icons is the only thing people want from me. So they ignored all my offerings, but wanted icons. So I started creating icons, and I was creating icons for maybe 5 years, and I'm pretty much sick of it already. And I've noticed that stock photography is sold by piece or by subscription later, but icons didn't. So I created a single page website with just 40 icons, and I was selling them for $40 a piece. And I had clients for that. So we didn't have much time for um, engaging in this project, but we used it to lower the total bill for our customers. So we offered icons for $160, but like, look, this and this and this, we take it ready and we don't charge you extra. And then we created an icon pack for self-promotion. Vista came out, and it was really difficult to draw icons, 3D-like. So I created a really nice icon pack for several icons. It was a massive success. So it was reposted everywhere, shared everywhere. And then we created more icons. At this time, Windows 8 was in the air, and it had such simple icons that everybody could create them. So I didn't see the future of our custom icon business at this point. So I created the icon packs for self-promotion, waiting for what will come next. And they were popular. And one of the customers, downloaders, he said, like, I like the icons, but I hate. So I required them to set a link. So the license was link where you set the link to us in exchange for these icons. So he was like, I like your icons, but I hate linking to you. How about $100? So we started charging $100 for no link requirement, that we still do it up to this point. And then we ventured to other stock assets.
Yeah, describe those stock assets. Where did you go to after 2012? And before you do, I want to set the table a little bit so people remember 2012. Just like it was incredibly iconic, ironically enough, time in tech. So you have the rise of Instagram was taking place at this time. You have tablets are like the new hot product. And as a result, what you see is a lot of like this skeuomorphism that kind of dominated early iPhone editions. We're talking about iPhone now, starts to give way. You see people that had these three-dimensional shadowed logos that were going to flat two-dimensional. Everything was simplifying. They were iconifying absolutely everything. So like icons, whether it's in the app store, this all became super, super important across the board as far as design. So you were very early and right on this early crest of design that was like seeing the importance of having unique but also variable icons that you could use in web design, because now we're starting to get like really cool web design. You know, we have high-speed internet now for kind of the first time. So you can get animations to load, you can get different things happening. So you were able to capitalize on icons early on. Where did you go next as far as graphic offerings?
Yeah, you're right about this skeuomorphism. I I I wasn't able to draw them, so they were incredibly nice, but they were 3D rendered, and now nobody of us knew 3D. Right now we have a 3D department, and they create wonderful assets. But at this point, I was like, I didn't know where to start. So we were trying to draw them in Illustrator, and it was all right, but not awesome. And one of the uh, directions where I wanted to venture was custom development, so designing interfaces and developing them. And my friend, he gave me the best business advice I've got. He said, developers need a company. Before, we hired single developers or freelancers, and they worked great for the first 3 months and then bad for another 6 months, and then found another job afterwards. So he said, like, developers, they need a company, they need a party, they need to exchange ideas, they need to help each other. And so I had money for our developers for 3 months. So I hired 3 developers. I had money for 3 months. We needed to find something in this 3 months, some revenue stream, which will pay for their existence. And I found a project, and they hired one of our developers for several months, and then they stole him from us. But it was enough money to sustain us and to get on the profitable path with Icons. And
So now you have two developers.
I had 2 developers, but I had money to pay them.
Great. And it was the project they were working on icons, and how did that go as far as like initially establishing the pricing, going from like kind of one-off pricing to then a subscription, which seems to be the industry standard at this point?
Yeah, it wasn't obvious at all at the point. So I created the first stock icons, the first store of stock icons. And I'm not sure if I was the first subscription-based icon or illustrations service, but one of the first. We had a marketing person, a girl called Anya, and she was just from the college. She worked for us for a year maybe, and then she found another job in Arab Emirates. And before moving there, she said, move to subscriptions. And I was like, I'm not sure. No, no. She said, move. And I was like, uh, I'm not sure if somebody will pay $20 a month. And she said they will charge even more. And this is the best pricing or marketing advice I've got in my life.
Heck yeah. Now it's great because it's such a profitable legacy business over the years, and you guys have made a pivot into generative AI in a big way. So talk a little bit about generated dot photos. Like what was the origin story of that, and how did you kind of make a decision then to kind of move the company into that direction?
Um, it started with stock photography. So we ventured into different assets like illustrations. It's straightforward illustrations are just large icons. We had processes for that. We had skills for that. We just did it. And there was photography, which is really different. And my idea at the time was Midjourney before Midjourney. We took a bunch of tens of thousands of photos of people with the same light, the same camera height, the same backdrop. We traced, we removed backgrounds, and we created the backgrounds for them, such as different office, home environment, 3D rendered. And we took photos with the similar lighting. And the idea was compose them into the scenes because stock photography is normally 90% good for your purpose. So we wanted to create the rest 10% with collaging of actual photographs. In the retrospect, it didn't work, but we've got a large data set of 80,000 images of people, same light, same thing.
Amazing. Why didn't it work? What was the failure?
People didn't use it for long. They played with it and then forgot about it. We had um, 5 minutes of fame when like kind of designer communities, they picked up the tool. We had the composer for that, so they picked the tool and they created some hilarious memes. And these memes were published in all over the world in different magazine newspapers, which are not designer, which not technical, just general audience. Um, and that's it. And like we thought, like we created a meme tool, but apparently it was a one-time thing.
Crazy. Okay, so you end up then with this gigantic database of photography. And
Yeah,
so did you use that as basically training material to create the generated photography tool now?
yeah. There was a NVIDIA library. NVIDIA created a library for generating people. And there was a popular website which is called "This Person Doesn't Exist." This is
Yeah.
the stock library. The guy just installed it, generated a bunch of photos, and was showing them randomly from some folder. We did about the same, but we trained it, post-trained it on our data set of our models. And because it was such consistent data set, shot in the same manner, and it was also they were like nice people. They were beautiful people, and we did makeup and hairstyle, and we did retouching. So they were like really beautiful photos. And this style gun trained the library of NVIDIA style gun trained on these images, started producing really good pictures of people with fewer defects, and they were pretty. They actually we were criticized for that. People said like,
Look too
"Wow,
good.
are they all beautiful? We want someone like us."
Yeah. That's funny. That's how I feel. I feel like it's good for people like me because all the stock imagery now is so beautiful. It's like, people are going to get tired of good looking people and then they can come deal with me.
You
Amazing.
also look our first version. Like the second version, it already included the people uh, not beautified. We called it not beautified.
Yeah. So cool. So how then do you start to incorporate these new? You have a new tool set with generative AI. How does that fit into the subscriptions now? How are you kind of differentiating the different business? Because I noticed there's multiple websites. So there's like the photos is kind of its own product in a way, but it is linked on Icons8.
We created generated photos as a separate entity before for two reasons. First, to separate it legally, because when we started, we had uh, nothing to like in legal practice to rely on, and we wanted to preserve Icons8 from that. And second, we wanted to be a startup. Companies are cloud providers, GPU providers. They are nice to startups, and they are not so nice to 12, 20 years old companies. We got some cloud credits, we got some recognition, some programs for startups. It was really useful.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, the before the generative assets, which now are basically innumerable, there's 1.4 million digital assets available to users at icons8.com. How do you manage inventory like that? What is that? What goes into that?
It started with 1,000 icons. When we had 1,000 icons, I once wanted to find 4 icons for a mock-up I'm creating. And I spent 28 minutes by clock looking for them. So I realized we can't continue just giving the zip files with images. We need some search. And for that, we need some database, we need some application, and we need to tag icons. Title is not enough. There are lots of collections of icons that just title them, and there is search. And if there is a search icon, you have to tag to look for it like search. You won't find it as find or magnifier glass or something. So we have to tag it, and for that we try to keep our internal team small and outsource most of the work either to mechanical Turk and now to AI. And it's getting to, it's like AI is incredible now. It wasn't before, but now it's incredible at tagging the icons. So we keep our tagging team smaller and smaller. Right now it's 4 people.
Amazing. Cool. You know, and for people that want to check it out, it's icons8.com. And truly, these are like very unique, beautiful designs, whether you want to look at icons, illustration, 3D models, photos, music, and then there's the whole suite of generative AI functions. Now, I speak to a lot of folks outside the States, and their target market is always the US because, you know, that's how you make the big bucks. So how were you able to penetrate a US market? Because it looks like you've done so very, very well.
We have about third of our clients from the United States and third
Oh,
from
a
you
third. Okay. Yeah.
and third from everywhere else. It's in dollar value. For that, I think you have to create an international product.
Yeah.
You use English, you create international product. You don't think about any specifics. It's like for folks outside the US is everything international. Like you watch Netflix, you get some financial analytics, you learn accounting, finance, you programming, you get US version of it. So I think the key is use English and learn stuff in English and create an international version with everything best. Don't make a US company for Stripe. Use Stripe for billing. Use some cloud provider from the United States. Some of your servers must be hosted in the United States. Yeah, so like go this path, and it's going to be a viable US product.
100%. Now, I'm very interested in Argentina now. So my daughter's off at college and my son is a junior in high school, so he's got 2 years left, which means that we can start looking around at different places to end up, or at least to go to for a little while. And me and Mrs. Estes have really been considering that, like of moving somewhere else, trying something else. Make the argument why Argentina is a great place to go for, let's say, digital nomads or startup founders or people that just kind of want to have a new place for an HQ.
I think the major point is Argentinians like foreigners. I mean, you get support everywhere, so you can get lost. You probably will have a problem of too much help with someone walking you in all the places, and it's already for hours, but you will be helped, and they actually like foreigners. Everybody has some grandma, granddad coming from Italy, from Spain somewhere, and they feel that foreigners are one of them. It's people take you really well.
It's a friendly place.
It's really friendly, yeah.
Yeah.
And besides that, it's a really nice climate. It's like cuisine, which is Italian in great part. This is like good infrastructure. Buenos Aires is a great city urbanistically. It's like New York with a great of streets, and they have we have the street corners. They're like a little bit like plazas, and there are summer cafes on them, and the traffic is slow, and there are like these trees, these tall trees on both sides of the street. It's a really nice place.
What about the startup community? Is there a big kind of startup scene?
Yeah, for Latin America, it's probably quite big. So we have some unicorns. Most unicorns, I think, are
Really?
either from Argentina or from Brazil, but it's also a much bigger country. Yeah, and if you want, like, if you check meetup.com, you will see lots of events here.
Yeah, Brazil is great, but like I don't want to learn Portuguese. Come on. Nobody got time for that. It's so cool. All right. Are you ready for the Founder Challenge questions brought to you by kitcaster.com? This episode is brought to you by Moburst, the AI-first growth engine trusted by iconic startups like Calm, Robinhood, Reddit, Uber, and Google. Moburst is a digital full-service mobile-first marketing agency that helps companies to scale and become category leaders. Whether you're finding product market fit or ready to accelerate growth, Moburst delivers creative, data-driven solutions that help with scale and efficiency and impact. At Moburst, we're not just guessing what works, we're predicting it. As an AI-first agency, Moburst uses cutting-edge tools to analyze user behavior, adapt creative in real time, and uncover hidden growth opportunities. The result, marketing that's faster, smarter, and built to convert. From early-stage startups to global brands, we've helped hundreds of companies overcome complex challenges, unlock new audiences, and optimize every metric that matters. At Moburst, we believe that creative thinking, advanced technology, and data are the core drivers of success at scale. If you're serious about scaling your business with precision and purpose, it's time to talk to Moburst. Visit moburst.com and let's build something category defining together. All right, perfect. Okay, we're ready for the Founder Challenge question from kitcaster.com. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of categories of questions that you can answer from. So we have 4 categories. We have unfiltered, we have intriguing, we have philosophical, and we have risky. Which category would you like to do?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do
Should I
it.
choose one?
Let's go. Let's go risky. Let's see. Here we go. What's the most desperate thing you've ever done to close a deal?
And it still didn't close the deal. It was, um, what comes to my mind is recently there were 29 people wanted to stay in my guest house. I rented on Airbnb too, and it's for 16 people. So I offered them to make basically a shelter from the living room, and it still didn't work. They didn't rent it.
29? You'd have to build it.
29.
Yeah, you'd have to build a treehouse or something out back.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do another one. We're gonna do a couple of these. The Founder Challenge questions. Here we go. Okay. What's the most money you've wasted on something completely useless?
That must be marketing.
How so?
Um, it's we have the marketing model, which with the business model, it works really well. This link where license where people set links to us, so we're integrated on Google. So when people Google for icons, we get here, and people who don't want to set a link, which is probably most commercial software applications, they pay us $15. And I always wanted to try something within my control, to some AdWords, some influencer marketing, some any paid advertising basically. And it didn't work. Apple Store advertising, it didn't work. None of it worked. So, it costed me, hundreds of $1,000s, this experiments.
No kidding. What do you think it was? Do you think it was the product? Do you think it was the audience? What was it that misfired?
I think we sell cheap product with a little return on advertising dollar. So we compete with better business models, such as Shutterstock, for example. Somehow they know how to get more dollars from the customers, so they outbid us.
On the keywords? Yeah. So if advertising not a big driver for you, what has been the best driver for new customers and growth for you guys?
Already said about linkware license, but what else? For example, product hunt.
Product hunt. Yeah.
So there is a website with top product hunters or creators, top product. I'm number one there. It's stuck in time. It stopped updating maybe a couple years ago, but so I'm probably number one product hunter for forever.
It's not easy launching on Product Hunt. How did you get such a big launch?
That before hunters really mattered. So you want Chris Messina to launch you, He was number one hunter. So you write him, you pitch him, and if he chooses you, it's a great deal. Then they were not really clear, always not really like the product hunt is balancing between getting free promotion for themselves and uh, not letting products with who spammed most people win. So you should go within their rules. Right now, there are some certain wording that is all right. So we said mailing, we have a mailing for 1 million people. So we send a mailing to these people, and we tell like help the lunch party on Product Hunt, and it's okay with them unless we don't say upvote us.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot over the years, hasn't it? I still use it as like my go-to tab just to see. I like to see like what product hunt, particularly the UIs, the front side of products, to see kind of what's trending and what design that people are really resonating with. There's always cool tools. Now it's so dominated by so many AI tools now that it's kind of hard to weed through it, but it is great for inspiration.
Yeah, thanks for keeping an eye on it, because Product Hunt, getting Product Hunt top places is one thing, but the next day comes the second wave of press, investors, and bloggers who
Our watch.
spread the yeah.
Totally. Love it. Couple of questions here. If you sold Icons 8 for $1 billion today, what do you do tomorrow?
I have three passions right now besides Icons8. It's motorcycles, um, listening to classical music in my home cinema.
Nice.
It's audiophile / classical music, and golf.
Cool.
So I will enjoy this three for a while. Maybe I will buy more motorcycles.
What kind of bikes you like?
I just started, man. I mean, I like them all, but I, I would like some large adventure bike. I would like some really heavy Harley Davidson and enduro bike, maybe electric enduro bike. And I want my garage to be I would set the light, so I will switch on the light, and there will be like this light above each of the motorcycles.
Oh
The,
yeah,
the, this,
like Batman. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of the classic Indians from the
mm,
70s, but now they have a new product line that's super cool. I think called the Scouts. And these Indian Scouts, kind of a more of a medium, smaller size bike, but they are so cool. I mean,
mm,
I was in high school. I was actually wanting to get a motorcycle the first time, and my mom said that it was okay with her if I got a motorcycle, but I had to save enough money to pay for my funeral first.
now you have money.
So it kind of discouraged it. Cool. Is there a CEO or founder that you follow or admire?
Mm, Probably most I admire Peter Drucker, but he's not CEO. But there is Jesus, how it's called, high performance management, the CEO of Intel. I forgot his name, but he was it's a great high performance management. I really admire him.
What's the company called?
Intel.
Oh, Intel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he's a co-founder of Intel, and he was CEO for for many years.
Nice. Let me find out his name because I would love to look him up. That is a great company. Those kind of sleeper companies that are just baked into everything don't get a lot of attention until like Nvidia, and then they really blew up there. Founder of Intel. Let me see. It looks like Gordon Moore.
Like, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. You know, Gordon Moore. He has also a nice, great book, Crossing the Chasm. But this one,
Was it Robert Noyce?
in high performance. I'll probably look for a book.
It's pretty amazing. Founded in 1968. It's incredible. I love those stories because, being a founder and as founders, it's like every company has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And just depending on kind of like the longevity and the management of that company, they can come pretty quick. But when you look at Intel, who's been dominant, I mean, and they are founded in 1968, you know?
Yeah. And they rose 5% today, the stock.
Did they really?
Yeah, Andrew Grove. When I opened Kindle, I read this book many times and many years ago, but it's still one of three of my top books in my Kindle.
Amazing. Amazing. Ivan, I really appreciate it. You've been so generous with your time. I got one more question for you. Which one should I do? I want to say, if you were entering college today as a freshman, what would you study?
I was really thinking sometimes that being in Stanford in computer science would give me a jump start in my career and life. So probably something I had to learn for 20 years would be given. So I would study computer science at Stanford.
Amazing. Ivan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Now let's do the fired segment. All right. Ivan, we're doing this little segment for founders help founders. So maybe you could walk us step by step on a very interesting subject that you brought up, which is knowing when and what to do when you got to let somebody go.
First of all, let him go. Now, it would be the worst day of your week, but next day would be the best day of your week. You already tried everything. You already tried performance reviews. You already tried coaching. You already tried reassigning the task to them. It didn't work. So this is the way to go. And to do that, you have a frank conversation. Actually, I am always thinking about sending an email would be humane and good. So you don't get the first reaction, the first shock of the person. The person could process it privately. And then soon you have a conversation when you confirm you are firing this person in soft but firm words. If you want, I can explain why. Normally people don't want and they know. So then you just let him go and you close all accounts now. It's also rough, but it's needed. Slack accounts, CRM system. In the best case, he would be talking to others and bad vibes, spreading the bad vibes. In the worst case, he's downloading the list of customers or worse. That's it.
Amazing. And that's an interesting technique. Have you found that emailing them first, just allowing themselves, is that kind of like to retain some dignity so it doesn't hit them so hard?
Well, I tried it a couple times, but normally I don't do that. I think it's a good idea. I still need some PhD to confirm it's a good idea to start doing.
Tremendous. Ivan, thanks again so much. Really appreciate it. Hey, founders, let me ask you this. Are you building with AI or getting left behind by it? If you're serious about scaling smarter, faster, and bolder, you need to check out aiforfounders.co. It's your go-to resource for cutting through the noise and actually using AI to grow your startup. Each week, AI for Founders drops a sharp, no-fluff newsletter dives deep with expert guests on the podcast, and hosts monthly workshops where you can get your hands dirty with the real tools and strategies. Whether you're pre-seed or Series B and beyond, launching something new, or just staying sharp, AI for Founders gives you the edge you need to win in 2025 and beyond. Hit aiforfounders.co to subscribe to the newsletter, tune into the podcast, and grab your spot in the next workshop. And it's all free. Build smarter, move faster, think bolder with AI for Founders. Now back to the show.